Hello and welcome to Byte Size Tech. I am your host Rogue, and today's video is brought to you by eWin Racing, the best source for gaming chairs and desks for those long gaming sessions. We do have a playlist of our eWin chairs and desk videos linked in the video description below, but most of all, save 30% of everything using the discount code TechTeals, and we do have more details at the end of this video.
Ryan comes in with a question about his premium high-end ultra-wide.
And it says he's running a 2080 on a 1440p 144 hertz ultra wide, and he wants to know if the 3080 Ti is the magic unicorn that will give him all the frames, or should he wait for the 4000 series?
Ryan, come closer. Let's take a walk. And this is for everybody out there who is considering buying a premium high-end monitor, which Ryan definitely owns, and is unaware of the commitment they're signing up for. You didn't realize it, but you're getting married. And if you already bought the monitor, then you already did. You just don't know it yet, and I'm about to tell you. Here's the deal. Your 2080 is, for all intents and purposes, functionally obsolete for your monitor. And it may not seem like it. It may seem like, wait a minute, a 2080 is a very nice monitor. This is great. I'm using it. Why in the world do we have a problem? I understand. Here's the thing. 1440p, now pretty standard. Not a problem. A standard, say, 27-inch, non-ultra-wide 1440p monitor is not too bad. And we're going to do some math here because I want to illustrate what the actual math problem that you're dealing with is. So what we've got here is, let's delete out our history, 2560 times 1440 is a standard 16 by 9 screen. It could be 27, 37, 32. The screen size physically doesn't matter because the pixels change in size.
Exactly.
But typically a 27-inch 1440p monitor has 3.7 million pixels, just under 3.7 million pixels on the screen. If you have a 27-inch, in fact, I'll copy that to save it, 60 hertz monitor, 1440p, times 60 frames per second, your graphics card has to render 221 million pixels per second. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But it's doable. And your RTX 2080 can absolutely do that wonderfully. And if you had a 1440p, 60 hertz monitor, non-ultra wide with a 2080, I'd say, man, keep that. Wait for the 400 series. You are set. There are very few circumstances where I would think you would need more. Maybe Cyberpunk with ray tracing turned on, but otherwise, keep your 2080. That thing is a beast. Now, let's take the math a step further. That is standard 1440p. Again, we're not ultra wide.
Correct.
144 hertz. That's 530 million pixels.
Double.
More than double.
Yep.
It's almost 2.5 times. Which means you need 2.5 times the graphics performance. Now your 2080 is kind of like, ooh, okay, in some games, in some esports, turn the settings down. It's not so bad.
Correct.
Hold on a second. Ultra wide is not standard.
No.
Ultra wide is 3440 times 1440. It's 5 million pixels instead of 3.7.
Correct.
Times 144.
Yep.
Your graphics card has to do 713 million pixels per second versus 221 on a standard. Yeah. Now, obviously, with G-Sync or FreeSync and some render resolution and a few other compromises, you can make that work in a lot of games. But this math is what I want you to keep in mind when any of you are going out to buy, which they're not that expensive anymore. I mean, not even $1,000. $500-$600 will get you a 34-inch 3440 by 1440p 144 to 165 hertz monitor.
Yep.
They are pretty reasonably priced. But what you are marrying, am I saying that right? Marrying? You're getting married to buying the top-end graphics card every launch for the life of your monitor. If you want to keep up with any new games. If you want to keep, if you just want to play old games, sure, you can keep your old card. but a 34-inch 1440p ultra-wide 144 hertz is effectively saying you're buying the flagship at every launch.
Yep.
3090, you're buying a 3090. 4090, you're buying it. 50, just in your mind, you need to go, every release, I'm just buying the new top-end card. Skipping generations, mid-level cards, you need to take that idea and throw it out the window. Yes, you can absolutely run your 2080 on that, but as the question said, he wants to know, is the 3080 Ti the magic unicorn that will give him all the frames? Which tells me he's not happy with his 2080 performance.
Correct.
Because he's discovered that a 2080 on a monitor that wants 713 million pixels per second driven.
Is that 11 gigs of VRAM? 12?
That's 8. His card has 8.
Oh, it's a 2080 Ti, isn't it?
It's a 2080 Ti that has 11.
And if you go to a 3080 Ti,
he has 12 gigs.
12. Okay, a few more. But if you go to a 3090, that's 24.
I have an ultra-wide, high refresh rate monitor at home. I had a 2070 Super on it.
He did.
I went to a 3070, which is roughly equivalent to a 2080 Ti.
You did.
And I got about 45 frames per second in Cyberpunk at medium detail.
Yes.
I now have a 3090 that manages to mostly stay above 60 frames per second at ultra. At medium, it would do 100. But even an RTX 3090 will not do 144 frames per second in Cyberpunk, even at medium detail.
Nope.
So this whole idea of, should I skip card? Should I wait a generation? Wrong monitor. You're married to buying the best every single time, realistically, for the life of your monitor. Now, if you keep your monitor 10 or 12, I mean, eventually graphics cards will overtake and things will change because standards do change over time.
Yeah.
But over the next 5 to 10 years, you've just married an expensive graphics card purchase every 2 years. And what's interesting about this, it's much less expensive to buy that monitor than to buy the computer that runs it.
Exactly. That's what...
You can buy a much nicer monitor than your computer will drive. He could compromise. He could accept lower refresh, lower frame rates.
Correct.
He could set his games to 50% render resolution. He could set his games to low detail.
Yeah, but you're not buying all of that to do that.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. You've got a 2080 and a 144 hertz ultra wide to play at low to medium detail. I mean, that's sort of like buying a Ferrari and then driving in the slow lane.
Or just going, wee, you're not going anywhere.
You could do that at home and pretend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot cheaper.
Exactly.
So if this is disconcerting to anybody, I hope I've opened your eyes before you go and buy a premium monitor that you either have to make huge compromises or, because I'll bet there's a lot of people who have either a 1080p or 1440p 60 hertz non-ultra wide.
Correct.
And they see a deal. Wow, $600 will get me a 1440p ultra wide, 144 hertz. Sweet, I'm going to be gaming now.
And then they go, oh, crap. This sucks.
Why my frames suck? Because you...
Didn't do the math. That's like trying to drive 500 miles on 300 miles of gas. That ain't going to get you there. You got to fill up at some point.
Well, you just need a good woman to push the car.
Oh, shut up. says the person who didn't keep the car full for me.
That's a story.
The midwife said, you have one job, and that is to keep the car full. And he did up until 1 week.
True story. Birth of our first child. We get ready to go for the delivery. She's in labor. Car has no fuel in it.
It's an hour trip to get to the birthing center. And there's no fuel.
We had to stop for fuel while she's literally in labor. We are at the gas station, and she's having contractions. And I have heard this story for 16 frickin' years. Oh my goodness.
Don't do that if you haven't had kids. Make sure the car is full. You have one job.
Because otherwise you'll hear the story for the next 16 years. Thanks, Ryan. eWin Racing has a wide selection of chairs to fit all shapes and sizes of gamers, ranging from petite to cuddly. They have something for every type of gamer. Not just sizes, but colors and material options as well, including red, blue, purple, pink, orange, and many more, plus cloth and leather choices to boot. We have over half a dozen chair and desk videos in a special playlist down in the video description below. We also have a special offer just for Tech Deals viewers. Save 30% off of everything using the discount code TECHDEALS using our link in the video description below. We have personally used eWin gaming chairs for 3 years in our office, sitting on them for up to 8 hours during live streams. They are very comfortable, and we are happy to work with eWin to bring you this special discount and recommend eWin for all your gaming chair and desk needs.